Good evening. We are here with Donna. The time is now 19:46. Could you introduce yourself, please, and tell me a little bit about yourself?
So hi, I'm Donna Maria Peart-Johnson. I am mother of 5 young, beautiful men. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing. I am an actor, professional actor. I am also a grandmother. I have many jobs. I do some corporate hostessing. I do a bit of modelling, some voice work. I'm a landlord. I've got my own private taxi. It's for driving just my family around, but yeah. And I am currently doing a little something for this wonderful young lady here.
So you told us that you're second generation?
I believe I would be first generation, right?
No, your
I
parents
guess
would be
I am first generation. Yeah. Both my parents are born in Jamaica. We were the first generation. My father came over on the Windrush on the boat. My mother came over via plane. So she had a bit of a more comfortable journey.
So when your dad came over during the Windrush, was it where he was invited over or he applied?
He was invited over. He was a carpenter by trade, cabinet maker, and he came over to help rebuild England.
Okay, so did he work into a factory or?
So by day he worked for a company called De Suter. They were part of British Aerospace, making parts for planes. It sounds really, exotic, but it really wasn't. They were just, cranking a machine, making nuts and bolts. And then after Monday to Friday, he would work for De Suter as a machine operator, and then evenings and weekends he was a cabinet maker, and he did private work for people in the community and their family and friends.
Just to subsidise the family?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said your mum came over by plane.
She did, yeah.
What did she came over into?
Well, she came over to meet my dad. My dad actually had a wife and 8 children back home in Jamaica.
Okay.
And he left them, came over here, told his wife he was coming for 6 months to do a contract for the government, and never went back. Yeah.
So your mum was his wife with the 8 kids, or
no?
She's separate.
No. She's the other woman.
Interesting. Elaborate a little bit more about that.
Well, I mean, I always kind of, as a child, I kind of just made it a love story, really. That they ran away together. Never really thought about the devastation and the heartbreak and, the fact that, you
it's
got up and
as
left.
a lovely love story until you get to know the ins and outs of it. So how did that affect you, knowing?
Affect me?
Yeah, how did that?
It didn't.
Because,
it didn't. If I'm totally honest, it didn't. It really didn't. I didn't comprehend the seriousness of it all. How his wife might feel. It didn't really, as far as I was concerned, I had all these brothers and sisters. One day we were all going to live together in our lovely house in Colindale, which my parents, my father was very proud man. But my mum was also very hardworking. They worked very hard.
So he did take his kids back home
One.
to come here?
One. So the first child. So my eldest sibling. She came over.
I know, growing up here in the UK, and from parents who are from Jamaica, the difference between there and here, did they instill in you that education?
So it's really interesting because my dad was very proud of his indigenous heritage and didn't he wasn't like my mum, she was all about the royal family. She wanted to become English, if anything. She wanted to be British.
So all that.
My dad was like, hell no.
So all that's in Caribbean proudness. She didn't want. She abandoned all her upbringing.
Yeah.
And wanted to integrate more in the British society than her upbringing that she had back home. And that
although I will say one thing, if we were sick, like if we were, at disease, because sick, that's not a thing. If we were out of balance, had a cold or
a fever.
Yeah.
She would use that in Jamaican.
Yes. She would use the traditional roots and culture to nurture, as opposed to taking you to the doctors and getting you pharmaceuticals.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, you said your dad didn't stand for that. So there sometimes might be a little clash here and there.
Didn't stand for
her wanted to be more British than Jamaica.
Yeah. He wasn't happy about that. Yeah. Also, I think the fact that my dad was married to somebody back home, he had a wife. Whereas, that generation, and it's not just that generation, but typically, if your husband is financially supporting you, they will turn a blind eye to everything. Yeah? I'm not saying all, but majority.
So
there's an awful lot. So it was the thing. It was just how it was back then.
How many siblings you had apart from the 8 in Jamaica?
And then there's 5. So my mother had 1 in Jamaica before coming here, and then having us 4.
What was life like growing up here in
London?
Yes, here in the UK. What setbacks you had during that time?
Well, there was a lot of racism. There's a lot of racism. I mean, yeah. But my mother, she was a very strong woman, and she would not allow us to be bullied. Don't think that someone's better than you because their skin is a different colour to yours. there was no such word as I can't. Yeah, my mother was a very strong woman.
What were you like in school?
I'm sure my teachers couldn't stand me. They couldn't wait for me to leave. Unless it was a class that I liked. Yeah. Unless it was a class that I liked. I loved sport. I loved cooking. I loved anything that was to do with people.
You're a people person.
Yeah. Laughing. I was always in trouble for laughing. I loved singing. I loved performing arts. So yeah.
At what age were you when you decided that you wanted to be creative, be an actress,
oh gosh, probably about
mentor?
5, an actress, I would say. I went to ballet and tap and all that jazz.
At that age, sometimes we'll see something either on telly or we might see someone in the neighborhood doing something and it'll be like, I want to be like that person. What motivated you to decide that
the film and TV?
That's what you wanted to
Floella Benjamin. Am I allowed to say that? Well, I've just said it. I don't know. Yeah. That's what inspired me.
Elaborate a bit more about
I used to watch her on, she was a children's TV presenter who looked like me. Growing up, there weren't many people on TV that you saw who looked like myself. And Floella was one. And I loved her. And she was just so silly. And I've always been quite, a silly kind of person. That's mine. That's just my nature. Yeah.
I so like you saw her and you were like, that's what I want to be.
That's what I want to be. Yeah. Having fun. Getting paid to play.
When was the first time you really done a role in what you wanted to do?
So I was in junior school and we did a production of The Wizard of Oz. And I played the witch, Wicked Witch of the West. And I got an encore. That was amazing. For me, that was just like, that was like bigger than Hollywood. Yeah.
And that's what motivated you?
Yeah, well, we as children, we used to make up in school holidays. We weren't just those children that, okay, school holidays, that's it, you can go out and do whatever, So we would amuse ourselves, and a lot of that would be making up plays and
songs.
Yeah.
When did you get into modelling?
Oh gosh, 52. Yeah.
What was your first photo shoot? Catwalk?
Oh no, not catwalk. I'm only 5'2.5", so it's commercial. It's commercial modelling. You're going to ask me what was my first modelling job?
Yes.
Wow. I can't remember, but I know that I was 52. I was 52 because I just started uni. Can't remember.
Was it for clothing?
No. It would have been a stills for something.
Because none back then it would either be for soap, perfume, clothing.
No, I didn't do that kind of modelling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. so commercial.
Oh, okay.
A lot of NHS staff.
Yeah.
For instance, I was the face of Crisis at Christmas 2023. Correct? 2023. And for that, I also had to do some modelling shots, some stills shoots as well.
What role did you play in your acting career? Could you
Wow.
tell us?
I've had so many roles.
Could you let us in a little few?
Whew, yeah, I mean, one of the latest ones, I was customer in a bank heist in a feature film, well-known feature film. I was a single parent bringing up two, this is another film, single parent bringing up two children on the estate, and trying to make sure that they didn't go down the whole
What was the name of that
drug route.
scene?
Indulgence was called the film. You can see it on YouTube. It's available on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. That I then became in the movie, not in real life. I then became a big drug dealer. Lost my son to the gangs. One son, that was my eldest son. Then my daughter was trying to get into dancing, trying to be a professional dancer, but the drug lords had kind of infiltrated the family.
What's the name of that movie?
That one was called oh my gosh, T Mellow, Kay's Dream, Part 1 and Part 2.
Okay. And I think that was before you started having kids or during?
Oh no, gosh. Life before children. I don't think you want to talk about that on camera.
Whatever you feel comfortable with. If
I mean, yeah. I mean, nah. It was very different. Yeah.
Oh, okay. After having kids, did you instill the same upbringing that you had when you were younger? Because sometimes the reason why I ask this question is the morals that we were brought up with.
Mhm.
We instill the same morals within our kids. Might not be everything, but
So one thing I will say, I made a conscious effort as a mother to not be like my mother.
why would you say that?
Why?
Yeah.
Because some of the things that she considered normal and would say, oh, I did that because that's what my mum did to me, or just straight fat no for me.
I know growing up, sometimes our parents might do things and you're like, no, I'll never do that when I start having kids.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, psychologically, we might end up doing something similar, not the same, but something a little bit similar, and then we kind of step back, and then you'll be like, no, I shouldn't have done that. That's what my mom would have done. Sometimes we kind of lose ourselves in a particular incident where we're not really conscious within ourselves that we're making that decision. So have you ever had a case where you did something with your kids and then you be like, you take a step back and like, nah, I shouldn't have done it that way, I should have approached it a different way?
I can honestly say, and if you ask any of my sons, I've never argued with any of my sons. I have never called them a name. I have never sworn at them. I have never told them that they were not going to achieve. I have never made it, a thing that I gave you life, so therefore I own you. I have the ability to. No, never. And you can ask any of my children.
So basically what you're saying is you offer your kids a better upbringing than what you had.
Different.
In a sense, yeah, but and also you instill, because you said you and your dad get along really well,
and
you instill the way how your dad brought you up.
Well,
and you might not do the exact thing, but you kind of pick the bits and pieces of what may kind of help you to shape you in the person you are today, and instill that in your kids.
One thing I will say is that regardless, as well as my mother had certain traits that I didn't agree with and I was not going to continue into another generation.
Yeah.
She also had a lot of strengths.
So you picked on the strengths.
Oh, absolutely.
Not necessarily the idealism that she was implementing.
Absolutely.
Just like you might pick on what your dad had implement on you then to shape you the person you are today on your kids. Because sometimes we, as a parent, we will look back at our upbringing and we will pick the best bit out and implement that on our kids. Where growing up they say education is key, you have to work to achieve what you want because nothing is given to you. And if you don't work for it, you won't achieve it. So those are the stuff that your mom and your dad implement on you. Might be different ways of doing
They
it.
both implemented that, yeah.
Yeah, as you said, there are certain things your mom did that you agreed with, so you picked the
both of them.
bits and pieces from both parents.
But I didn't want to be a mum like she was. She ruled with fear. I didn't want to do that.
You wanted the kids to
You tell me whatever.
can come to you.
Doesn't matter how bad it is. I'm your mum.
Exactly. You wanted them to know that this is a safe place.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what happened. I won't judge you.
Yeah.
I just stand with you. So now that they're older and they start having kids, would you look at it and said, okay, the upbringing that you implement on them has carried forward, because as you said, you didn't want to take your upbringing and implement it on your kids. You wanted to do a clean slate.
Yeah, I would say.
So would you say
Been a good
the way
grounding.
how you brought your kids up, they've now taken from your slate to carry on with their kids, or they kind of put their own little twist on it?
Yeah, put their own little twist on it. Yeah.
So they
They've
just
taken
use that bit
some-
as a guideline, just like you did.
yeah,
You took
yeah.
the strongest from your mom
Yeah.
and implement that in your kids, that you need to be strong in whatever decision you make.
Yeah.
And then you take a little bit from your dad and implement and say, this is how.
My children are very much gentlemen. As in, little things like if, say we went into, I don't know, we went into a building.
Open the door.
They will open the door for me.
Yeah.
They will carry my bag. It doesn't matter that it's my handbag.
Yeah.
They will carry my bag.
And
They will carry my shopping. If we go in somewhere and there's one seat,
they give you the seat.
they will give it to me. Even if there's two seats, they will make me sit down first, and then they will sit down after. You know, they're just little things.
And if they're opening the door for you and someone else is coming in, they still hold the door to make sure that person goes.
Yeah. They're very.
And if you're with someone, they will carry your shopping as well as the person's shopping.
They're very
gentlemen.
I mean, I used to live opposite my neighbour, who stays here, and my son lived opposite him. We lived opposite each other, my son and I, in the same block. And this place here where we're currently filming is on the 3rd floor up. And the empress that lives here would often, when she had a heavy load of shopping, could whistle up to my son, and he would help her up with her shopping. Yeah?
That's proper gentleman. Growing up, going to school, there must be a lot of challenging racism and all of that. Now, we went through a lot of racism, and our kids go through it, but would you say it's a little bit different now than what it was then? Or would you say it's the same, but in a different way?
Same, but in a different way. They've done it differently now. It was a lot more segregated back then. This area was predominantly, this particular area where we are, this estate, was quite multicultural. But in that, there was pockets of, so you'd have one,
segregation,
yeah. So that you had to fight physically a lot when I was younger. You had to physically fight.
It's like, I'll give an example, like in Grace, because when I moved into Grace, where I'm living now, it's where I was like, I moved in a brand new block of flats. I was the very first black person to live there. And on the road opposite, there was a few, but not a lot, but they kind of...
Racist?
Although they were black, they were like, okay, you're from Jamaica, I'm from whatever other Caribbean country. They didn't really see you as one of them. So would you say that from the Caribbean, and you live integrated with different people from different cultures, would you say that they kind of have that little bit of segregation where, because you're not from where I am?
Oh, I mean, the amount of people that would say to me, why don't you go back to where you came from? That was quite a common one.
Which they still do.
Back in the day. Okay, well, I came from my mother's womb, and I don't know that that's possible.
I said the same.
For you to go back to there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, I just think that it's not about skin colour.
It's the individual themselves.
Do you know what I mean? That means nothing.
So,
nationality.
Yeah. So would you say that your kids slightly have it a little bit better?
My children.
Yeah, a little bit better than what you did, because
Oh, of
nowadays certain things they don't really sugarcoat it that much. It's a little bit more opened than what it was before, but they do it in a political way where they might say it as a joke, because nowadays certain racism is done in a jokeful way, because like I can use the N-word to you and
I would still be very, very, very offended.
yeah, no, but I'm just saying, and you'll be fine with it.
No, I wouldn't.
Hold on, not you per se, but if somebody else says it, then it's a little bit more
For me,
controversial.
I don't care who you are, where you're from. Do not use that terminology to me. I do not appreciate it. I grew up, we had to physically fight for people to
Not use that word.
not use that word and respect us as living humans, the indigenous to the land.
So when you hear like youngsters calling each other the
I can't
N-word,
stand it. And I will pull
they
them up.
say it as a joke.
It's not a joke.
But that's what I'm saying. Nowadays, the way how they are openly doing certain things, they will do it as a joke, but within the same sense, it's been offensive. And
That's right. So because it's been accepted and like that, you know, oh, it's a joke. Well, a joke is only funny if both parties find it funny. If there's two of you and one of you tells a joke and only the one who tells the joke finds it funny, that's not a joke.
So would you say then that things are slightly the same, but not really
Well, my children's father is Irish. So
how is that bringing up kids, your kids from within the Irish?
the Irish community didn't give me any rubbish. My community did.
So they learned both cultures, because sometimes it's quite a
because
difficult.
their dad didn't really. Well, they did from their grandfather, because their grandfather happened to be Irish, but from a different part of Ireland. So their father's from the north, Belfast, and their step grandfather is from the south, Kerry.
Because I know sometimes with two cultures, it's kind of difficult.
They're very similar cultures.
Yeah, but sometimes it's a little bit different because.
But the first Irish were us. So if you know your story and not history, which is what they teach in school, you would know that.
Yeah, because I know sometimes it's kind of hard to bring both sides together without any conflict. Now, your mom, you said did a lot. So, as time go by, did she, when you wanted to be an actress, did she approve of it, or she...
Always. She's one herself. Always. I think she lived
through
she
you?
would, yeah. And
Because I know sometimes
my
parents
siblings. Yeah.
wanted to do certain things,
Yeah.
but at that time it wasn't something that they really could have done.
Yeah.
And they make sure that their kids had the dream that they want. Because sometimes people, your mom wanted to be an actress. Let's say
I
that
mean,
didn't
it's a
happen.
very sore point in terms of, yeah. We all did acting.
That's nice.
My mother kind of managed it,
Your mum was
and
your
that's
first
all I'm
manager?
going to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the matter.
So have any of your kids decided, your boys decided that they want to follow your footsteps?
My children have done more acting than me, bigger roles than I. Yeah,
Yeah, like,
and they
you
started at
wanna
age
give
5.
an example?
Wow. Casino Royale, Golden Compass,
What roles
commercials,
did they
leads. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say too much about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They've got their own families now, but yeah, they were all. My
play? A proud
sons were
mom,
all.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you're like, a little bit of name dropping,
Yeah,
a little bit of,
yeah.
you know, as a mom we all
Yeah.
do that. We don't really want to do it, but we
Yeah.
kind of drop a little in now and there,
Yeah.
just to say,
Yeah, I mean the youngest one I remember was the Rice Krispies advert. You know, poo stick.
yeah.
Okay, so it was a stick. It's a magic wand. It's a lightsaber, and then the last one he comes up and he says it's a poo stick. That's my son. One of my sons.
Well, it's like, wow, my kids are following my footstep and make you very proud. So you said you're a grandma. Do you think any of your grandkids?
They call me Nana. I was 2.
Grandma. My bad. Sorry, grandma. That's
Well,
the new name.
Grandma, but that became too common. So Nana is what they call me.
Oh, so you're a nana. now.
Nana. Yeah.
So any one of them want to proceed?
They're all little actors. They all go to performing arts school. Those that are old enough. The youngest 2 are 2 and 4 months. I'm certain that once they get to
No.
the age, they
Doing
will
any
get into.
advertisement?
Not as yet. Not as yet.
Because I remember my eldest, they wanted to use him for comfort,
Oh yeah.
and I look at it and I was like, no.
Why?
Reason being, I didn't want. It would be great to put him down that side, but I was more looking on if he started doing that, when would he really have a life? Because they were like, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, we're going to do comfort, then we might do baby foods, and they were like throwing all different stuff all at once, and I was like, no, I want to enjoy my child for a little bit. So
Yeah,
I didn't, because for somebody who did that in my country, where and it's like, no, I don't really, because he's still young, and the money side of it, I was looking at, is he really gonna get the money, or other people is gonna take it? And I was like, no, I want my child to be a child. So before you go down that route, I was like, no, if it's to happen again, it will happen. My second son, he great in voices. All my 2 boys, my eldest and my second son, they're brilliant with voiceovers. And he was thinking of doing a little bit of modeling.
Yeah.
But then he was like, no. He looked at certain dynamics of it and was like, no. Do you ever think that probably if your grandkids, if they approach you and said, let's do a bit of...
Oh, we do it all the time. They help me do self-tapes.
Now,
I've done...
the baby, they come and approach you and said, okay, let's do him for, like, say, comfort or...
Yes,
So,
of course. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You're more comfortable with it, because I don't do. I hate. Which was weird for somebody who did modeling. I hate taking photos.
Well, I can model.
I do catwalks. I would do that. I used to do Impulse back in my
Yeah.
country, where you do like the catwalks for like the clothing and launching of certain little things. But I hate taking photos.
So if I'm moving around and, give me a story and get me kind of like, having a laugh and relaxed, I love it.
Yeah.
But when you say, oh, okay, Donna, can you smile for the camera? I don't know, something happens. It's like someone sticks a pole up my...
You're like, you feel
up my
quite...
spine. I'm just all stiff and
exactly. You're
awkward
kind of like,
and, yeah.
should I do this? But I did try drama for a bit.
Okay.
I did try. We did do a few little plays, like for the school, for the church, or for the community. It was quite fun, but it wasn't something that
Not for you.
I enjoy doing, because you're playing a role, but you sometimes feel like the person you're working with is not really giving you that. You're not feeding off each other. Because if you're doing something, you need to be feeding off each other for it to be normal. And you're not getting that. Would you say if you had an occasion like that, how did you approach it?
I mean, improvisation is my thing. So, think on the spot.
Would you decide, okay, let's change this person because it's not working for me?
Well, I mean, I've never cast. I've never been in the... I don't cast. I act.
No, I'm saying if you're doing a scene,
Yeah.
and like what we're talking now,
Yeah.
and the conversation is flowing because it's as if we are feeding off
Just
each other.
natural, yeah.
Exactly. Let's say you're doing a scene and you're not really getting in the zone that you need to be in for that particular role. How do you approach it? Because if you're doing a scene and you're meant to be working with me and I'm not giving you the energy that you need to give me back, how do you approach it?
I mean, like I say, I would improvise over your performance and you would have to bounce back. You would have no choice but to bounce back. So I feed you a line, you've got no choice but to bounce back.
Yeah, but you feed me a line on that, yeah, whatever, I just answered without giving you...
But you're an actor. That wouldn't... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You're there
It's
for
just
a
that-
reason, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that, so I like asking these questions, just...
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as a creative actress and also a lady with multi-jobs, and you said previously you worked with rehab.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what advice would you give to the younger generation who wants to...
Take drugs.
No. I would say
What?
take drugs.
Well, that's what I was, a drug and alcohol worker for 20 years. I worked with offenders.
What advice would you give them not to go down that route? Oh my god.
Don't bother it, it's a month's game.
That's a good one.
Game, don't do it.
What advice would you give them not to go down that route?
Yeah, don't go down that route. It's a month's game. Don't go down that route. You don't know where it's going to, end. It's a rabbit hole. Some people, yeah, they do just have a little one-off, little dabble and that's it. Friday night and that's it. It never goes any further. But a lot of people, depends where you are, where your mindset is, who you're surrounded with, you know, what period you're at in your life, that could be the end. That could be the start of a big downfall, yeah.
So your advice
So
would
I
be,
say, don't go there, man.
be mindful of your surroundings.
What you
and
take,
your
show
friend-
me your friends and I'll show you you.
Not necessarily.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes you might
Friends.
have friends that do certain
Friends.
stuff, but you won't do it.
No.
Okay,
Then
So-
they're not your friends, they're your
but
acquaintances.
to be a creative person, what advice would you give them?
Just do it, man. Go for it. The worst that's going to happen is you're going to make someone laugh. That's what I always say. Someone's going to laugh at you. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. That's not such a bad thing, is it?
No, it's not.
Make someone laugh.
Okay, Donna, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
taking the time out to have this chat with us. I appreciate it.
Welcome. You're very welcome.